everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. Welcome to the first week of hashtag Color Combo 2020. Let me start that again. Hashtag Color Combo 26. I'm glad you're with me, and I hope you are going to be crafting along with me or working on this challenge. I think it's going to be a really good one. For those of you that did not watch my intro video last week, I actually used a Gemini AI program and put in the parameters and asked Gemini to populate an A to Z color combo for 26 weeks, basically, or the 26 letters of the alphabet. And that's how I came up with the list. I do have a link in the description box to the Gemini document, and you do need to have the Gemini app in order to get to it. But if you don't have that or don't want to download it, it is free. If you don't have it or don't want to download it, I have the complete list here, and I'll leave it here for a minute if you want to do a screenshot and refer to that. But every week when I'm doing the current week, I'm also at the end of the video going to give you the next combo for the next week. So that way that gives you an opportunity to have a week to search through your stash or whatever and prepare for the next week. So if you can't print it, can't get to it, don't worry about it, because I will be giving those in my videos a week ahead, which will give you plenty of time to prepare for the next week. You can join this at any time. You can skip a week if you want to skip a week. You can skip as many weeks as you want and just do the color combos that you have in your stash. That's perfectly fine. You can make whatever you want to. If you're a junk journaler and you want to do journal cards or tags or collage or, collage strips, page edges, nothing's out of the question. If you're more of an artist and you want to do watercolors or paintings or pastels or whatever your craft is, you can use these color challenges and make something beautiful. So, like I said, we're on week 1. The colors for this week are avocado and apricot. And on this list, it'll give you the 2 colors, and then it gives you a brief description of what those colors are. So for avocado and apricot, it's looking for, or we're looking for, a deep forest green and a soft muted orange. So that's what we're going to be working on. The first thing that I did when I started going through my stash, and what I normally do for these color combos, is I refer to my oxides and try to find the colors that I think are most appropriate. If you don't use these, but you have paint or you have markers, like alcohol markers, for example. This one is number 50 Forest Green, and these are just the Master's Touch, which is Hobby Lobby's brand alcohol markers. So you can use those, watercolors, acrylics, inks, whatever you have, whatever medium you have. But I'm going to be referring to the Ranger Distress Oxides the most during this challenge because that's what I have, and it's easiest for me to go and find whatever colors. So for the apricot, I picked out a dried marigold, and you can see that it has kind of that light muted orange color. And for the green, I picked out rustic wilderness. So if I have to do any inking or want to do any matching up with inks or anything else in the distress line, in the Ranger line, those are the two colors I'm going to turn to. So we'll put those aside, and I'll keep my little samples because my plan is to pull out everything that I have in my stash in those colors within reason. I mean, little scrappy bits. And then I'm going to store those all together with my samples so that when I go to make a journal, I have all of these colors together and I can pull them out and do, do page layouts or whatever. And I have a reference as to what colors they are. So that's my plan. So, I think I told you in the intro video that I'm going to be doing journal cards. I'm going to try to make 2 per week simply because I want a pair. And I may not make 2 journal cards. I may make a tag in a pocket. I may make a belly band with a journal card. I just want to be able to have more than one piece to store because I want a couple of things that are going to match, for when I do pull them out to make a journal. Some things that I ran across that are pretty much ready to go. I have this in my stash, which is... give me a minute, Prima. It was on the back side of a Prima pad, and I've just backed that with some tea-dyed paper, and so that's a journaling card in its own that can be tucked into something. I have Tim Holtz, one of the collage strips, the wide one, and the more narrow one that I think goes. And then I have these florals that are by Mente. They were in my Mente Fussy Cut book. So I'm going to put these in the folder, or in the bag. I couldn't think of the word. Along with these other little scrappy bits that I'm not going to use, and you can see all these fit within that color range, to store them for when I, go to make a journal or whatever, I can pull them out. Okay, for what we're going to do today, we're going to make 2 journal cards, and I'll tell you that getting started and getting prepped for this, if you have invested in the new Tim Holtz little color paper that he released, it's an excellent resource for this color combo. Um, I have prepared, I think, for the first 4 weeks, just because I'm on a time schedule and I wanted to kind of, you know, as I was going through my stash, pull out several weeks so that I can just grab and go when I start to film these videos. But anyway, in my opinion, um, every color combo, at least for the 4 weeks that I have prepared ahead of time, there is paper in those books or in those paper. I got the 8x8 ones um, that you can use for each one of these. That's what I'm trying to say. By the way, I'm starting a new nail trend. They're called distress nails. I'm kidding. I'm filming this on Saturday. I painted a piece of furniture this morning, and of course I had paint all over me because I can't paint without getting paint all over me. But when I was cleaning the paint off, unfortunately, it cleaned. Also took off half my nail polish, and I haven't had a chance to redo it. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of dumb to take it off and put new polish on when I'm about to do some crafting. So I will do that this evening and get my nails back in order. But yeah, I'm thinking it's a trend. We like distressed, right? Might as well wear distressed on our nails. Okay, for the first one, and these cards are going to be fairly similar because what I see in my mind is having a double page layout with either 2 pockets or 2 belly bands or something, and then these cards on each side, probably like in the middle of the signature. So that was my envisioned thought. So this is in that Tim Holtz paper. It's beautiful. This is in the orange group, I believe. Is that really that crooked? That's a little crooked, isn't it? I am making my journal cards. Oh, let me straighten that up a little bit. I don't know how that got crooked. I am making my journal cards for... Oops, I'm knocking stuff in the floor, trying to get my trimmer. 4 by... I think they're 4. Yeah, 4 inches. Maybe it's this that's crooked. Is that crooked? A little bit. Now let's do this. 4 by 7. I think that's 7. That didn't take anything off, but it still looks crooked. 4 by... Well, they're almost 4 by 8 because I figured that if you... Maybe it's just the way the print's on there. No, it's definitely crooked. You turned it on this side. There we go. Just a tiny bit. Okay. 4 by 8. Because I figured that if you were using a 8.5 by 11 sheet to make your journal that that would fit. So I may make, down the road, I may make some smaller, some bigger, I don't know. But this one is 4x8. I'm going to do a double layer on this one. This is in the green kit of the Tim Holtz paper. And I'm going to put that on there. I think this is perfect. This color here and this here, I mean, you couldn't ask for better. And I think I'm going to put a deckled edge on this one. So I'm going to get my... This one I made 3.5. Of course, it's going to be a little less now, but I made it 3.5 by 7.5. And I'm trimming just enough off. Put that. I love that deckle edge trimmer, but it is so loud when you're working with it. Okay, so that's that layer. And then I'm actually going to come in with a third layer. You know how I love my layers. And this is Mente paper. And I think I'm going to deckle edge this one too. So sorry, I'm going to make noise again. Yeah, I have my cabinet of curiosities, as I call it, but it was a mismatched two pieces that I found at an estate sale. It has like a kind of like a chest of drawers bottom and a kind of a glass hutch top, and I got it at 2 separate estate sales, and I paid $10 each for the pieces. And I had painted them when I first got them. I had painted them kind of a cream color white. And, which was fine, but I had moved them to a different location in my house. Moved them into my living room. And I have been forever wanting to paint it red. And I know you all are gasping, red. But I wanted it red. Red is one of my favorite colors. One. And I love red. Like, it's a deep red. It's not a fire engine red. And I love red when it's distressed. With some of the dark wood showing and, chips and all that fun stuff. And so I finally broke down and painted it, and I am in love with it. So, yeah. But like I said, it destroyed my nail polish. But that's okay. Alright, this is Sweet Pea Curiosities, and it's in the olivine kit. And it was a piece that I had left over. And it is actually meant to be a journaling card. And, but I'm going to put it on here as the focal point. And then I have these. These are $49 in Market. And I'm going to take my sander and rough these up a little bit. I'm going to have to quit talking and start making faster if I'm going to get two done. I think I'm going to just do two because only one's going to stick out. I want it to go right there. And what else do I have? I have, this is the back side of that bottom card. If you flip it over, it's got part of the collage strips on the back. And I'm going to put it down here to bring in that little apricot color a little more. And I have a stamp that I'm going to put on here. And I have a piece of trim that's the pretty green that I'm going to put across there. And then I have this tag. That was in my stash, but I think that, I don't know whose that is. I'm going to put it up here. Somewhere, kind of like that. And then I have, this is one of the Tim Holtz milk bottle tops. And it has kind of a green. Oh, first I'm going to put, this is like a little flower that I had in my stash. And I took the two colors of Distress Oxide and kind of colored it. It was outlined in green and white, and it was just white. So I took the dried marigold and some water in my water pen and kind of put some of the apricot color in there. And then I'm going to put these leaves on here, and my milk thing's going to go on there, I think. And then I'm going to make a tab and put that on there. So that's that one. Okay, should we get busy? Oh, and on the back of this, you can see it has like collage strips or something on the back of it. So I'm going to put this Eco Dyed paper, which I think is kind of an apricot color, on the back. I've got a couple of pieces, but I don't think that one's, well, that one would be okay. It'd have a little bit of a border. That one's probably more apricot than the other one. The other one's probably more of a peach color. So if we cut that and leave a little bit of border all the way around, I think it'll be all right. Alright, somewhere we're crooked. Everything is crooked today. Square that up before I cut that off. Much more better. So I hope everyone is having a good weekend. Like I said, I'm filming this on Saturday. You all follow March Madness, all the basketball. I watch a little bit, only when my team's playing, really, or if I'm flipping through or something and I see an upset. I love to see the upsets in March Madness. So, our men and women both went, but the women lost yesterday, so they're out. Our men did really well, so they're still in. So hopefully they can hang around. There's already been some upsets, I guess. North Carolina getting beat, that's a big upset. Can I not do anything straight today? Let's try that again. Sorry I'm being quiet, but obviously I can't talk and put this on at the same time. There we go. So that'll work for a journaling spot. Now, you don't have to do as many layers as I'm doing. You guys know how I like layers, so, you know, it should be no surprise that this challenge isn't going to be any different. And like I said, there really are no rules except for to use the color combo. Here's the back of that green. You could see all those pretty green colors. I'm trying my best to not hoard this paper because it's beautiful. I bought it to use it, so I'm trying to convince myself that, you know what, you bought it to make beautiful things with, so do it. It's not doing me any good just having it in my stash, looking at it, thinking it's pretty, even though it is. Okay, next layer. I was really surprised how much stuff I could find in my stash that fit this week, and the other weeks for that matter. I don't think you realize this till you start delving into your stuff. You know how much of a variety you have and options that you have that you didn't really realize. Now, do I want to round the corners on this to make it look more finished? No, I think on this particular one, I'll leave them square. Okay, so now we need to put our little tickets up there. And these little pieces that I put like this, they're to break up corners. So the corners don't seem as harsh. Alright, so this piece goes down here at the bottom in straight lines. It's to break up straight lines. Even if you're breaking up a straight line with another piece that has a straight line, it makes a big difference. Especially if you offset it a little bit from your other straight line. Okay, so now I want that to go. Oh, I'm going to put this piece trim on here, aren't I? Do I want it on the top or the bottom? I think the top. And I think I want it to go all the way across, so I can go ahead and put this piece down. Okay, so there's that. All right, now we're going to put this piece of trim over here, and this is just a scrap piece. I got this trim originally in Germany at a flea market. They had these bolts of upholstery trim for like €1 a piece or €2 a piece. It was something ridiculous. And so I bought several. I wish I'd bought more, but I only had so much room in my suitcase. And at this point, we had been flea marketing for about 3 days, and I had limited space left. So I was having to only get stuff that I really, really wanted, which was everything. But I was having to limit myself. Alright, so now we're going to put our flowers on here. But before I do that, no, I think the one that's on there is fine. I started to say I was going to put another postmark. Yeah, I will. Because I want it to look like it was really on there. So hopefully I can find my postmark stamp here quickly. I have a basket that I keep my most used stamps in. And that way I can throw them in that basket and then take them and clean them a little bit. There we go. Before I put them away in permanent, you know where they go. Alright, so now let's put this on here, and I think I may raise that up a little bit. And then I want to put this little guy over here, and I don't care if he's raised up, so I'm going to do that one first. Just like that, and then we'll take some of these little goobers here. And just kind of put some along the... I need to figure out where... Oh, I bet it's up there in my drawer where it goes. Why did that take the bottom part off too? I had some of this on a roll. I have a couple of rolls, but I think that other one's too thick. So we're just going to go with this. We'll put some glue too, so where it crosses over the trim, it'll glue. Sorry, I'm trying to hurry. Okie dokie. About right there, I think. All right, and then this piece goes up here. Like that. And then this is going to be our tab. This is just some little green fabric and some mummy cloth from Tim Holtz. So I'm going to put this on this side. Put my pen and my glue here for a minute. All right, I'm going to attach it with a tiny attacher because I can. Actually, I'm going to ink around it first, the whole card. And Tim Holtz paper, of course it should, but Tim Holtz paper distresses with the inks and oxides so well. He did such a good job of making sure that whatever his paper was, the texture or the, you know, the way he made his paper would do that, in my opinion. Okay, trim off our overhang here. Have a brand new walnut stain, distress, oxide, and it's so exciting because it's actually inks up really quick and you're not fighting with it. Now the only other thing I have is this, because I wanted to bring in another circle element. So I'm going to put this down, and then we'll staple the tab on. And glue our button on there. Now you could sew on these too if you wanted to. Everybody knows my love-hate relationship with the old sewing machine, so I have to be in the mood, and the mood doesn't strike me very often, to be honest. So I'm going to put that on there. Just like that. Put a couple staples in it. And you can glue. You can choose to glue if you don't like the look. Or, like I said, you can sew. Whatever you want to. I like to use the staples because I like the way they look. But that's just me. Alright, and then we're going to glue that on. And we'll have this one done. And can do the other one. Okay, so we'll let that one dry, and we'll do the other one real quick. The other one is the same papers, but I reversed them. So in this one, the background is green. The second layer is the floral. And I'm not going to use the decal trimmer for this one. However, I am going to ink around it. And I think I'm going to round the edges on this one. I'm looking right at my corner rounder going, where's my corner rounder? Well, it's right there in front of you. On the shelf. Where it's supposed to be. Okay, let's do this one. And again, we need to back this. We're going to use this, even though it's more peachy. Should I just do tea dye? Peach tea dye. Yeah, we'll just do the tea tea dye. I should have done that before I round the corners, huh? Yep. Yep, you should have. Oh, got a string in there. Get off, baby, your string. Okay. Again, I'm having an issue with straight today, obviously. Okay. Alright, so we'll cut around this. So we had some funky weather last week. My son's birthday is 15th, the Ides of March. And there was a blizzard in 1993, wrong glue stick, that was on his birthday, and he didn't get to have his birthday party, and he was so mad, even though it snowed, and he loved the snow, he was so mad that his party got canceled. And so last week on his birthday, it was beautiful. And I was like, get out, enjoy your day. It's not snowing. It's 75 degrees. You know, you can do all that stuff that you like to do. He's very outdoorsy. He likes to fish and stuff like that. And get out with his dog and go hiking and, you know, all that stuff outdoorsy people like to do. And, so it was beautiful, beautiful day. The next day, snow, 20-something degrees. It was miserable. So, but at least he got to have a good day on his birthday, because usually he does not. Usually it's either raining or snowing, even though it's mid-March. That's the way our weather is around here. Okay, so this is my focal point on this one. This is a digital by Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. So I'm going to put this on here, and then I have some die cuts that are wreath shaped. This one I got in Germany when I went back in December, and these two are Tim Holtz dies. So I just cut, this is actually in the same die. or die set by Ranger. So I cut one out of cardstock that I had colored with the dried marigold, and I cut the other one out of cardstock that I had colored with the, what I say that was, rustic wilderness. So I'm going to layer those up around her like that. Okay. What I'm checking is to make sure that I don't want anything else to go under the picture. I think this goes under. So this is just the tag that says Herbararium. And I went around it with my green alcohol marker to give it a green border. So I'm going to put it up here. And then I have this little green tag that needs to be inked to white for my taste. And I'm going to put it down here. And I also have this little ticket that has kind of this apricot color to it. And I forget whose digital this is. If I think of it, I'll put it in the description box, but that's highly unlikely. I'm going to put it down here. Oops. Stay in place. Just like that. And then I have this little piece of fabric and some mummy cloth and this little piece of sari silk. And on this one, I'm going to put it, I think, right here on this. I may not put the sari silk. And then I have 3 buttons that I'm going to put on the breeze. Like that. So that's the plan. That one's fairly simple too. So let's start gluing. So we're going to glue this one on first. I'm going to do art glitter glue because it's quicker. And I'm sure I've kept you guys long enough already. Running my jaw. Now, if you have any questions about this challenge, please leave a comment. I do read all the comments, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. I did not have Gemini before I decided to use them for this challenge. Him, her, whatever it is. And it was really easy to download the app. And if you have a Google account, it's even easier because it will just kind of log you in automatically. So, but like I said, I'll show the list again at the end. If you want to do just a screenshot and refer to that. Or I will be giving each week's prompts a week ahead of time. And you can just do it that way. There's no critical time that you have to work on this. We will be doing it once a week. I will be doing my videos on Sunday. And the reason I picked Sunday is because there's not a lot of junk journalers out there that do content on Sunday rather than haul videos or something like that. So I thought it would be nice to have, you know, somebody out there that is doing makes on Sunday too, because that might be when you have an opportunity to craft. But like I said, you're welcome to join in anytime. And you're welcome to use the hashtag. Please do use the hashtag to post your makes so that I can see what everybody's doing. I always like to see everybody's interpretation of prompts for whatever challenges you're doing. And you can use that on YouTube or Instagram. And it should bring up everybody that's participating. I will create a playlist on my channel for all of my makes, and that way if you missed one, you can go back and find it. I'm putting art glitter glue on the back of these over on my glue books, so if you can't see what I'm doing, I'm just putting glue on the back. Just little dabs here and there to hold it. It's one nice thing about art glitter glue and that little precise nozzle. It's great for these little die cuts like this. Alright, and then kind of stagger that one a little bit so we can still see the apricot color. Alright, and then we were going to put this down here. I had another little card. What did I do with it? That I was going to put down there. Might have grabbed it up with those other little scraps. Oh, I was going to put this tag. Do it quick. Can I get it up? Yeah. There we go. Let me look through this stuff real quick and see if I can find the other one. It's a little Tim Holtz piece. Huh? Not there. Ah, I think it's in the floor. If all else fails, look in the floor. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to glue that right there. Alright, now let's decide how we want to do this. That fabric may not add a thing, and I need to put a tab on there anyway, so I may just do this with the buttons. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So put that on there. And slap my buttons on there. And then take this and this. See if I can get it on there. Again, take the tiny attacher. You notice I put this one on the other side because I missed that whole bottom one. If I'm going to put these on facing pages, then this one needs to be on the other side. There we go. Now I'm going to kind of rip that apart a little more. Make it more stringy. What is on my scissors? That where I cut that leaf off and had that dimensional thing on the back of it. It's stuck. Grunge that up a little bit. And I may put a little number or something right there. Let me see if I can find something real quick. I'm sure. Oh, not too bad. An hour and 3 minutes. Y'all can forgive me for going over a few minutes, can't you? Especially since it's the first week and I had all the splaining to do. Oh look, there's one that's kind of a... Do we want that one? Or could do a butterfly. Nope, don't like the butterfly. I think that's gonna do. That little one right there. Have a stamp. Ooh. You want to put a stamp on this one? Maybe up there. I like that. See that? This is Tim Holtz stamp out of the Tim Holtz book. I did reach over there and put glue on that, by the way. My glue stick's sitting over there open. So I just rubbed it across the top of it. I'm not happy with that. I want a number. I either want a number or I want a tab to go across it. But I'm not going to keep you for that. That can be added at any time when I run across something. Did I really put that on there crooked? Sure, Tammy, you've put everything on there crooked today. Why not that? I do think I'm going to put it right there, though. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so there's our 2 tags. You can see that those will fit quite nicely. I want to put this music. This fell out of that scrap bin. That little box I was looking at. For some reason, I want to put it on here because who can have a bird without the singing, right? So I'm going to put it. It's an omen. It's supposed to be on there. See if I can get it. Glue on it. I want it to be just barely. Just like that. Alright, now I'm quitting for now. So that's our 2 makes. Again, the colors are apricot and avocado. Which was described as a deep forest green and a, what do they call it? Pale yellow or orange. A soft muted orange. So next week the colors are berry and blush, and the description is a rich raspberry and a pale powder pink. Hoo-hoo! I'm not looking forward to that one. I'm not a pink fan. But we're going to make it work. So again, here's the list. If you want to do a screenshot, and you'll have everything for the whole 26 weeks. And the only thing that I ask is you don't post early. And that's just because I think it is, you get more fun if you don't know what the color's going to be until the week of. And, you know, it gives everybody a chance to get their materials together and craft together, which is, you know, part of the purpose of the challenge, is to not only, you know, make yourself step outside the box of safe colors, but also to join together as a junk journaling community, or any kind of artist that you are, and do something together that, you know, makes you happy. Because in the end, that's why we do this, right? Because we like it. So that's it for this week. Thanks for joining me, and please consider jumping in. And like I said, no pressure here. Whatever you guys want to do is a-okay with me. Just use the 2 colors that are given, or as close as you can get. And I will see you all next week. Bye.